So the spirit of Judas Iscariot has raised its ugly head again in Steve Bannon, which is no surprise to me, but a lot of my friends were surprised. So I just want to talk about this because nothing gets under my skin more than a backstabbing Judas Iscariot. So it's no surprise that Steve Bannon's all over YouTube, all over his news program, trying to convince people that Pope Leo XIV is not the valid pope, that the election was rigged. The election was rigged. All for American politics and money. All for money. So all this guy thinks about is money. So he thinks that's all that the church thinks about. So Steve Bannon is lying about Pope Leo XIV, and he claims to be a Catholic. So that's why it's pertinent to us, because he claims he's a Catholic. And they're the worst kinds of Judas Iscariots. He claims to be a Catholic, and he's saying our Pope isn't the Pope, the election was rigged, that all our cardinals are corrupt, that the Catholic Church is evil, that only a few guys like him and Vigano and Mel Gibson are true Catholics. You see, because Mel Gibson and Carlo Vigano, the disgraced former Archbishop, claim now, he never claimed this, but now he claims this because it's cool in his circle. Now Vigano and Mel Gibson's always claimed it, that no pope was validly elected since 1958, that all these elections were rigged, that the Catholic Church has been rigged for 60 some odd years. So Steve Bannon not only is lying about Pope Leo, but he spent the whole 12 or 13 years Pope Francis was Pope, lying about Pope Francis and saying his election was rigged. But not only that, he's a political Judas Iscariot too. And a lot of my friends that are new to politics are very surprised when I tell them Steve Bannon is a backstabbing grifter. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw this guy. You see, in the Trump first administration, if you remember that first year, there was someone in the White House leaking like a sieve. He had a rat think in the White House, giving stories, secret information to the New York Times, to the Washington Post, to CNN, to MSNBC, all the enemies of Trump. There was somebody, some snivelly rat, giving this information, and Trump found out it was Steve Bannon, the rat himself. He fired Steve Bannon, and what do rats do? He started attacking Trump, making lies about Trump, wrote a book bashing Trump and his children. And everyone's like, oh no, Trump pardoned him, and now he's like on the Trump train. He loves Trump. Well, Trump pardoned him because the corrupt FBI, the corrupt justice system, threw him in jail. And to pardon him was the right thing to do. And Trump did the right thing and pardoned him. You know, he didn't deserve to be in jail for what the corrupt FBI was saying he did. So that's why now all of a sudden he's on the Trump train. You know, but he's not the only Judas Iscariot. You know, he's not the only guy that backstabbed the Pope, backstabbed Trump. Taylor Marshall, for 12 years, lied about Pope Francis. And his lies were exposed by me and many good priests on YouTube. Holy priests exposed him lying. But not only did he backstab Pope Francis, he, as a Catholic, he claims he's Catholic and he's backstabbing our Father, our Holy Father. He backstabbed Trump too, you know. The first election, you know, the first term, he was on the Trump train. And then when Trump was going for re-election this past time, and it looked like he was down in the polls, a lot of people thought he was either going to jail or he definitely wouldn't win. He came out and he bashed Trump. He attacked Trump on every issue that as Catholics that as Catholics don't agree with Trump, but we've accepted the good with the bad. Like, he's not going to be our Pope. He's not going to be our priest. He's going to be our president. So we accepted how he felt on IVF. And, you know, he got Roe v. Wade overturned, but he doesn't want a federal ban we want. And he dogged him and said, we need a Catholic president. And he announced this big announcement. He's running for president. And he went on LifeSite News. And I heard him say this. The John Henry Weston from LifeSite News said, are you considering running or are you running? He goes, no, I'm running 100%. I am running. And he said, are you running as a Republican or an independent? He said, no, I'm starting my own party, Christ the King party. And after he got a bunch of subscribers from that, I don't know if he got donations or money, whatever, but he got a lot of publicity, a lot of publicity, because he was running. He was the righteous Catholic that was going to run to defeat Trump in the primaries, to become president. And after a few weeks of this game, he decided, well, I looked at it and I decided there's no way I could win, so I'm not running. You already said you were running. In fact, Peter Diamond, who I don't agree on his theology, he has the same theology as Mel Gibson and Carlo Vigano. There's no Pope. But he did a good video exposing all the lies of Taylor Marshall. Like, he really slayed him. Like, just showing you what he said one day, what he said another day, what he did. I mean, he just exposed him for the liar he is. It's brutal. But Peter Diamond, on one of his videos, exposed his, he called it a publicity stunt to be president. And another guy, another hack that people are surprised when I say, Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, when Trump ran the first time, he bashed him every day. He claimed he voted for the Libertarian. And then when Ted Cruz backed Trump, he bashed Cruz for backing him. And it wasn't until Trump got popular that Glenn Beck came on the Trump train. These guys, like I said, it's like they see the zeitgeist where, they follow the money and the popularity. They have no soul. And ironically, Glenn Beck, who's a practicing Mormon and believes the Catholic Church is evil and the Pope is evil, invited Taylor Marshall, who's supposedly a Catholic, onto his show to talk to millions of people, and they both called Pope Francis evil, and they both repeated debunked lies about Pope Francis and the Catholic Church. So I'm calling these people out by names because I'm sick and tired of the Judas Iscariots in the church and in politics. So I will call you out by name. So one good thing about getting old, I'll be 60 this year. So I've seen a lot. A lot of people are new to politics and new to Catholicism. They think, oh, these guys are hardcore Catholics. He's supporting Pope Leo. Give these guys a couple months, maybe a year, and they'll turn on Pope Leo like Judas turned on Jesus, and like they all turned on Pope Francis. But right now, the money is supporting him. The zeitgeist is, hey, let's give him a chance. So they're all doing it. But don't trust them. Trust Jesus alone, and trust the church and the Pope that Jesus gave us. God bless, and stay Catholic. And God bless Pope Leo the 14th.